Again, welcome everyone. We have a very interesting meeting this morning, especially in the times that we're in. We're fortunate to have really the leadership that is behind everything that's happening in Pinal County is you're going to hear from today. And we are, it's a difficult time, I know, for a lot of the towns and cities, but when I look at how every one of you is handling this, it's really shows the quality of leadership that has emerged in Pinal County. And really, it's great to see those of us that are involved in different pieces of this really admire what each and every one of you is doing. So thank you for participating today, and we look forward to having some interesting discussions as we go along. Just a little bit of paperwork that we need to take care of. Every breakfast, and it's kind of hard saying that when you see such meager things being eaten out there, but I know a lot of us are anxious to get back to where there's some real bacon out there somewhere. But we have a sponsor for each one of the breakfasts. And our sponsor today has been doing some amazing work around the county. It's S Power, and S Power has done a great job in Florence as an example of what they're doing with some of the solar work, but they do a lot of other things with wind, anything dealing with alternative sources of energy. S Power has been foremost, and we've enjoyed having them. And each and every one of you that are participating today have had some exposure to S Power along the way. So thank them for when you see them for doing this morning. And if you know anybody who would like to sponsor a breakfast, we'd love to talk to them. It helps us a lot when we have people do that. It helps us to get acquainted better with some of the sponsors, as well as helps us financially along the way as well. Although these are pretty inexpensive at this point. Before we get started, Governor Ducey did a video on Pinal County. It's about 2 minutes long. It's just been released, and we'd like to play that to Melissa, if you would do that at this point. And then when we're done, we're going to post everything, and that video will be part of it. And if you can use it in any of your work, but it really does a lot for Pinal County. So here we go.
That's better.
Melissa, we don't have any sound. All right, we don't have any sound, so maybe let's play it at the end and figure that sound out. And let's get to the mayors. How about that?
Work.
All right.
That'll work.
Yep.
So let's begin by just introducing the mayors, and then we'll quickly get into the program. Jordan will take it from there, but from Maricopa we'll kind of go from the west side to the east side, but Christian Price is on with us this morning, and then we kind of transition into Casa Grande with Mayor McFarland, who's sitting out by a great sign on the highway out there, and then we come up to Coolidge. Thompson Mayor Thompson is here with us. And then we kind of segue into Florence with Tara Walter. Tara's with us this morning. Welcome, Tara. And then up to Superior with Mila Besich. And Mila is shopping somewhere on their great Main Street, I'm sure, this morning. And then we can't forget Eloy down in the lower part of our reach. And we have the vice mayor with us this morning. And then up at Apache Junction, we have Mayor Serdy, who has joined us as well. And then we have Julia Wheatley from Queen Creek. So I think we've got everybody there. So Jordan, if you want to kick us off, then we'll be ready to go.
Great. Well, everywhere you look, there's a mayor. So this is pretty awesome. And I think it's actually probably good that we don't have a breakfast, because if we put all of you in one room, it would be some sort of security risk to have all 8 of you and all the leaders in our county in one place at one time. I'm not sure how that would go. Okay, so my first question is really the obvious, and it's what are your towns and cities doing about the Governor Ducey's discussion about masks? He said on Thursday that cities and towns can now make their own regulations as to if they're going to require masks. And I know some of you are meeting this even today on that. So let's just go around the horn and talk to us about what you think your city is doing. And maybe we'll start with Mayor McFarland.
All right, thank you, Jordan. Well, just to kind of backtrack just a hair, just to take a look at why we're doing what we're doing. In terms of the number of infections in our zip code 85122, which is the majority of the city of Casa Grande, in the last 7 days, we've had 132 new cases. We have a total of 374 cases in the last 90 days. So that represents 35% of all the cases have been in the last 7 days. So we're having a huge spike in terms of the number of cases. So because of that, and if you look at testing, and I don't have testing for our zip code, but I do for the county, in terms of number of tests, they've increased in the last 7 days, but they only represent about 24% of the total tests in the county. So our 35% is a higher index, obviously, than the 24. And so we're concerned. And when the governor came out and said, listen, I'm not going to require masks. That's going to be up to you mayors. So he really kind of, my opinion, was a kind of a chicken move on the, and I'm not going to call the governor out, but I'm calling him out, that he kind of threw it to the mayors, and now it's on our shoulders. So the city of Casa Grande is going to issue a proclamation today, and we are going to require masks. We do have some exceptions if you have medical condition or children under 6. You know, if you're in a restaurant, you're eating and drinking, then and you're seated at your table, and you have that physical distancing between tables, then you don't have to have your mask on. There's situations like if you're going to the gym, you know, you have your mask on when you're walking from your car into the gym, and when you get there, you get to the, you know, the bike that you're going to ride or whatever, and if you have that physical distancing of 6 feet apart, then you take your mask off. So you're not going to work out with your mask on. So there's several exceptions in the proclamation, but we are going to issue it today, and it will take effect tomorrow, Saturday. And I'm hoping that you know, there is no particular end to it, other than to say that if we can see a curve, and we can see this curve of the infections go down, then we will remove it. But at this point in time, it's gonna stay until we see changes in our infection rate, and that's where we're at.
Thank you, Mayor McFarland. Let's go to Florence and Mayor Walter. What are you doing there in Florence about masks?
So when Governor Ducey came out with his decision the other day, immediately we reached out. I had several discussions with other mayors that we work with, and wanted to make sure, you know, we all are not necessarily on the same page, but we are communicating and we're doing what's best for our communities. Now, Florence is very close with Coolidge. We also have Santan Valley on the other side of us. Mayor Jen Daniels, she said it best when we discussed, you know, really there's 3 options. You can choose to do nothing. You can choose to put out, you know, an order requiring masks and not enforcing it, or you can choose to put out a requirement regarding masks and enforcing it. Yesterday, I went down to Town Hall. We sat as a team between our chiefs, our town manager. We looked over all of the data, took in all the considerations that the municipalities around us are doing, as well as those conversations with the mayors, and understanding that our Board of Supervisors is meeting today at 9 a.m. And I understand Coolidge is also, they're working through their legal aspect. I just want to make sure that we're making the right decision that will reflect our community. Our stance right now is encouraging people to be informed, understand what the guidelines are, and, you know, wear a mask if you choose to at this point.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, thanks for the thoughtful approach, all of you, really. Mayor, let's go to Coolidge. Mayor Thompson, what are you doing there in Coolidge about this mask situation?
Well, we are at this time still looking. We've had, our cases have gone up a little bit since mid-June. We've gone from 81 on 6/16 to 93 on the 18th. So, but part of our 85128 is in the tip of Santan. So we don't have the addresses, so we don't know how much of it is where, but part of it is not in our city limits. So, but what we did was we've met, we're consulting with our legal guys, with our attorneys, to see just exactly what the governor's proclamations and exactly what they mean, the shoulds as opposed to the shalls. You're an attorney, you know what all those consequences could mean later on when the lawsuits start flying around. And so we want to make sure that we have it right. Here they declared an emergency. We declared an emergency on March 23rd of 2020. So we will probably issue a proclamation when we get everything put together on what we need to do. Right now it's probably about a 50-50 here on citizens that have contacted either the council members or City Hall on whether they want masks or they don't want masks. So, that's kind of what we're working on, a proclamation right now on how we're going to handle it here.
Thank you, Mayor. Let's go to Maricopa. Mayor Price, what are you all doing? Oh, you're on mute.
Can you hear me?
There you go.
Can you hear me? Okay, great. So, I think we're taking a slightly different approach here. And, when we dove into the details on what the governor said, one of the things that wasn't talked about was the kind of the fine print almost. At the bottom of his executive order, if you go down there, he'll have a couple of links. And some of the links link to these things called requirements for businesses and requirements for restaurants and bars providing dine-in services. And so if you read the first part of the requirements for businesses, I'm going to read it to you. It says, all business. Any business, whether for-profit or nonprofit institution, profession, or entity that physically operates in the state of Arizona and serves the public or is an employer, shall develop, establish, implement, and enforce policies that adopt guidance from the Centers for Disease Control. And if you go down to the 5th bullet point, it says requiring face coverings when physical distancing is not possible. So, when I see that, what I've seen is the governor has basically said in all of our cities, if you're a restaurant, an entity, a nonprofit, a for-profit, an establishment of any kind, you're going to be responsible for requiring your customers to know your policies based on the way you implement business, and therefore you're going to be requiring them to wear face masks. So it really has nothing to do with what I say, whether I say it's a mandatory thing or not. And furthermore, here's the crux of the whole issue is that, what we have done here in the city of Maricopa is we've tried to make up the difference. And we've tried to say, look, we're not going to require you to do it, because I talked to the mayor of Mesa. He was on KTRR yesterday, and he said, look, what's enforcement? We're going to mandate it, but we're not going to enforce it. So, I don't think any city in Arizona wants to be on the news for arresting some little old lady for not wearing a mask. So when I ask what the enforcement campaign is going to be, what I get is it's going to be an educational campaign. Well, I can do that right now. I don't need to make it a mandate if I'm going to offer an educational campaign. So, my philosophy is stopping short of making it a mandate, but requesting it, not requiring it. And what I think that does is when you get out of your car and you walk to the business that now is under Ducey's orders, right? If that business needs to can't social distance, because that's the whole key is social distancing. If you're a business that can't social distance, then the governor has said you have to require masks and you have to enforce it. So therefore, the city of Maricopa is filling the gap, and that gap from your car to the walking in of that business is our request for you to wear a mask. And that's how we're doing it.
Thank you, Mayor. That's very thoughtful. I appreciate that quite a bit. You should be a lawyer. You should be a lawyer. It's a very good interpretation of the whole thing.
No, thank you.
Mayor Besich, let's talk to Superior. By the way, that sunrise behind you or sunset is just phenomenal. So we need to get out there and see it for real.
Good morning, everyone. And it's actually a sunrise. For Superior, we were very fortunate. We did some very big things very early on. We were one of the first towns to declare an emergency. We canceled our biggest event of the spring, the Apache Leap Mining Festival, to provide an extra layer of protection to our community. Unfortunately, this week we went from 1 case to 17 cases in, less than 6 days. For a small town like Superior, these are not just numbers. These aren't just addresses. These are people that we know. Our community experienced our first death. So it's very real. It's very, it's connected to everyone. So I issued a declaration yesterday to require masks. I consulted with our business community as well as with Safety Comes First in a mining community. We're very much familiar with PPE and what it means to us. So we have enacted that order and our council will ratify it at our July meeting. This gives the public some time to come and talk to us, but overwhelmingly our residents contacting on Facebook, phone calls, we want that. The business community wanted something that was very overall that everybody was going to buy into, and we had been working on that in our reopening strategy. So I'm very thankful that Governor Ducey gave us the opportunity to make policies based on what would work for our community. And I think our residents are really happy that, we can proudly wear our masks because it's important to Superior to protect our residents.
Thank you for your leadership, Mayor. Mayor Serdy from Apache Junction. And Melissa, I don't see Mayor Serdy, so I'm going to come back to him if you find him. There's so many people on the phone here. Okay. Vice Mayor from Queen Creek, Julia Wheatley. Thanks for being here. What is Queen Creek doing?
Absolutely. Good morning, Jordan. Good morning, everyone. Queen Creek, currently we have 163 cases, and I really appreciate what Mayor Price had mentioned about the educational campaign. And for us, we're recommending the use of face coverings in public when social distancing isn't possible, and for our residents to review the CDC guidelines, but we're not requiring their use at this time.
All right, and then in Eloy, thank you for that. Vice Mayor Powell.
Mayor Serdy may be on now.
Hello?
Oh, great. Okay, Mayor Serdy, if you're there, just asking what Apache Junction is doing for masks.
I had to give up on my laptop. I'm on the phone.
Thank you for being here.
No, hold on. Now I got 2 devices on. Give me 1 second. Let me walk into another room. Okay, so I declared that it's up to the individual. I don't think we have the rights to really mandate one way or the other. And like the other mayor said, I'm getting about 50-50 response on, yes, I'm for this. Some say they will boycott us. I've actually had calls all the way from Scottsdale saying they're going to come deliberately to Apache Junction to shop in our stores now. I think all of that notion is silly. Just shop where you want to shop. Why try to punish somebody or reward somebody? But that's been our take on it so far.
Thank you, Mayor. Vice Mayor Powell.
Yes, good morning.
What's Eloy doing?
Well, what we're doing is, the unique part about us is we have, with Florence, we have prisons, we have detention centers. And so a lot of our numbers, I believe, are coming from the private prison that we have here. We don't know the exact number that we have. So it's kind of hard to say where our residents have it and where it separates from the detention or the correctional facility. What we're going to do on Monday is we're going to have our meeting and we're going to discuss what we feel is best for our community, because the main thing is the safety, security, and health of our residents. And so just like everybody else, we're getting feedback from our community members, from our stakeholders in the community. And we're also seeing what's going on with the surrounding communities, Casa, Grande, Maricopa, Florence and Coolidge and Mila and Superior. So we're trying to be proactive. We're taking everything in consideration right now. I think that we have strong counsel that really wants to do what's best for the community. That's the only thing. You know, our numbers have gone up drastically. I think as of yesterday morning, we're at 343. And like I said, we don't know what number exactly is coming from the correctional facility, but either way, we have the resident or the staff members who live in our outside community, and they're the ones who are bringing them home, or you know, that's kind of hurting us and bringing the numbers up. And so that's the scary part. But we are looking into it. We're still under the executive order from the governor that we did on March 18th. And so, like I said, on Monday, we'll figure out what we need to do, which direction we want to go, and really play focus on the safety, the health of our residents and our communities to move forward. So.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I appreciate it. I'm gonna mix it up a little here and start with Mayor Price from Maricopa. And I'm going to ask one more question just about this whole COVID situation, because I think it's incredibly relevant. It's on all of our minds, but then I want to move on to other things. And the question is really, gosh, it's got to be a super hard time to be a leader. I mean, to be a mayor right now, wow, there's just all sorts of things that you'd never expect in life. And I don't even think if you were watching a movie, you could expect, you know, that this would actually come to something that you have to deal with. So how have you done anything unique to deal with the situation? And is there anything positive that's come out of COVID that you can, you know, we can look to as optimistic? So Mayor Price, and then we'll go to Mayor Walter after that.
Sure. Thanks, Jordan. I don't know what you're talking about. I signed up for this gig. This is exactly what I was hoping for. No, I mean, this is not what any of us want to do, and it is certainly not the mantra on our shoulders that we want to deal with, but it's what we're called to do. You know, I was reviewing my oath the other day, and you know, it says, you know, you're gonna protect your city against enemies, foreign and domestic, and I never thought the enemy was going to be a virus, you know, and so it's really kind of a unique stance. But you know, to get to the heart of your question, you know, is there good out of this? Of course there is. You know, it's to see, it divides a lot of people initially, but I think at the end of the day, it brings people together. We have a very unique situation here in the fact that while we've all been packaged up and made the same by what the governor has dictated to us thus far, I think it's given each of us an opportunity to find resilience in our communities and do some unique things. For us, two that I can think of is that one we're going to roll out next week, and I'll talk about that in a second. But the other is we have a program called Copa Cares. And so when all this happened and we were all locked down in our houses, we had a lot of seniors that simply didn't have the ability to get out and get into lines and, you know, rush up the grocery aisle to, you know, knock people over and get that last roll of toilet paper or whatever it was. And so, you know, one of the things we came up with through our food bank was we found ways to create this Copa Cares program. We used the distribution channels through the food bank, through restaurants that weren't ordering. And so we were able to place large volumes of orders through them. And really it brought churches together, it brought people together, volunteers together, and it's really unified the community. The second thing is we were lucky enough to be a recipient of something that you know, Mayor Thompson knows well, and that's Mr. Trevor Milton, the CEO of Nikola Motors. And he called me up the other day and he said, you know, he goes, I just want to do something for you all. Kind of surprised the heck out of me, and it's his own personal funds. And he said, you know, I'd really like to make some donations. And so we came up with a system by which we could do that. And he donated some money to the food bank and to our Community Cares Foundation. But at the end of the day, what we did is we went and we took $10,000 and we divided up amongst 20 restaurants and bought 500 gift cards, or $500 worth of $20 gift cards from these 20 different businesses. And next week, the city of Maricopa is taking all of those gift cards and going to be creating a program that basically is like a TV show out of Utah. If you've seen this, it's called Random Acts of Kindness. And so what's going to happen is we're going to do this Random Acts of Kindness where people submit to us via social media things that people are doing that they see and they witness. And as we get their names and their information, they're going to be submitted for one of these gift cards. And then the idea is hopefully they'll take that gift card and take their whole family to dinner somewhere, and therefore help that business instead of just showing up and spending only the $20 that they got on the gift card. You know, maybe they'll spend 60 or 70 by taking their whole family out to dinner. So it's really a circular way of helping the entire community. So we're excited about that.
That's amazing. I love it. That's just amazing. And mentioning Nicola, John McGuire just relayed that Trevor Milton just tweeted that their groundbreaking will be July 23rd in Coolidge. So congratulations, Pinal County, breaking news right here. How do you like that? Pretty awesome. Mayor Walter, tough time to be a mayor. Anything positive, anything unique?
You know, actually, we have had a lot of positive things that have come out of this. When this pandemic first hit, we took a very proactive approach in regards to making sure we were continually communicating with our citizens, what was happening, as well as listening to them and their concerns. And some of the programs that came about from listening and communicating, for our businesses, we instituted rent relief for them on town leased facilities. So their rent from March through June was waived. In addition, we partnered with our Greater Florence Chamber of Commerce, and when the CARES funding came out, we made sure that all of our businesses had access to the information and assistance in regards to applying for those programs. We also brought in programs like welfare checks, senior shopping, our Give a Lift program. For the kids, we brought out activities such as I Spy, Take and Make kits, our virtual recreation. We've just tried to be very creative and innovative throughout this entire process. Some other key factors that came about was our widespread use of technology. This not only changed the way we did business as a town and providing services to our citizens, but also in regards to continuing future development and growth and working towards the future. So this way our projects that we had momentum on prior to COVID being here, we were able to proceed and carry forward. And also building new relationships. The formats that we have here, it really took away all of that travel time necessary to go to meetings. So we have been able to, you know, Pinal Partnership meeting. Then I have another meeting at 10 o'clock this morning, and it takes out that travel time where we can also virtually connect, although I really do miss seeing people in person.
Amen. Amen. Don't we all? Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Thompson, I want to go to you now about the craziness and any optimistic stuff, but I want your reaction first about just the tweet just this few minutes ago that Nicola will be groundbreaking on July 23rd. That's pretty amazing.
Well, Jordan, you're ready to go.
Fantastic.
We've been waiting for a while now, so yes, we're looking forward to it, as I'm sure a lot of people are. I know Eloy, those guys down in Eloy are looking forward to it too. They're going to benefit almost as much as we are out of this project. So as well as the county, and Casa Grande will get some of it. So everybody will come off well on that. So Milton, as Trevor's talked to us about some of the same things, and he's talked to some of the other communities. It just so happens that Christian, I think, jumped on it first with some ideas and got it moving. So I know he's offered some of the other communities opportunities to do some of the same projects or devise some projects, and and it comes out of his own money. It's not the corporate money, it's his personal funds. So he's trying to incorporate himself into the communities, which we really appreciate. He wants to be a good community member, and you know, Lord knows we need people that want to help communities around here, because we get a lot of them that don't really want to help anybody except themselves. So, but you know, when it comes to you know, benefits from the COVID situation, you know, thanks, I guess, in part, one of the advantages, I guess, of the stay-at-home order is our retail tax revenues have increased. People are shopping in Coolidge, and so our tax money went up from the sales. So we're doing all right with that. Our sense of community is a lot better. We see that, even though I think sometimes social media doesn't help elected officials that much. And the community members are helping each other quite a bit. When somebody needs something, they all jump on there and make arrangements to help them. So I think that's going well. And a lot of the people I talk to have taken a lot more interest in their children's education. I don't think a lot of them knew what their children were getting taught in school. And now that they have to help them with their homework, it's a whole different ballgame. So I think it puts a whole different perspective on education. I know that the Coolidge schools will be offering different programs, if you will, if you want to go to school in Coolidge Public Schools this coming year. They're going to offer different options. It's not going to be just one size fits all. And so I think that may help them out a little bit, because for especially single mothers or single parents, if you will, there'll be different options and different things going on. So I think there have been some things that have come out of this that are positive, not more positives than negatives, of course, but I think there have been some positives.
That's a great perspective. It's a great hat too, but a great perspective on this. And the retail sales tax, that's surprising. That's just a surprising thing, because we've heard lots of cities complaining that the retail sales tax is so far down. Maybe we could just have a show of hands on mayors and vice mayors on the call. Is your retail sales tax up? Okay, wow. Fantastic. That's fantastic. I guess that just says there's a lot of leakage, you know, from Pinal County, where people are going to shop, or people don't necessarily shop where they live, which this is good. They'll get used to shopping in the great stores here. So wonderful. Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. Maybe let's talk to Vice Mayor Powell from Eloy. First about the Nikola groundbreaking announcement, and then about the potential, any kind of positives that have come out of this.
I saw that with everybody else, I'm very excited for that. You know, Nikola is right on the border of Coolidge and Eloy. And so when they break ground, it's going to be an amazing day for not just Coolidge, but for Eloy and all of Pinal County. I'm really excited to see that we can, you know, we're going to work together. This economic development in this area is just going to explode, and Eloy is right in the middle of it. And I really believe strong that we're all connected, and we're all going to start working together on this. And I'm really happy, and congratulations to Nikola and Coolidge for this day. I got a date, so I have to call in for work that day. So I'm excited. I'm going to be there whether John and them invite me or not. I'm going to just go crash the party. So,
but we're going to have security there.
That's all right. I'm from Eloy. I know how to get around security. And
the advantage of being from Eloy.
There it is. I'll just say I'm with John. So, or if not, I'll just ride in the car with Craig. But no, it's you know, we're doing some things. You talk about the mayor situation, what we're doing in the city, and then you talked about the revenue. You know, a lot of our tax base is I-10. And so when the traveling stopped, the trucks stopped, that put a dent in our revenue source. And so we're figuring out right now what's going on, where we're at revenue wise. We are very cautious, and we've been very frugal when it comes to our spending, and we kind of had to slow everything down. The things that I looked at, the positive of our community is we've had to be very technology savvy now. You know, we really had to rely on what's going on the internet. You know, a lot of our cell phones are our life. You know, this right here, this is like my second time being on a meeting like this. I've never done this before. Here we are. Whether I would prefer being in person anyway, but this is nice. You know, and we're also looking out for each other. You know, we're looking out for our neighbors. You know, we're looking out for our family members who are in different areas and stuff like that, to see how they're feeling, how they're doing. And, you know, we're all connected. You know, Pinal County, we are a large land, but, you know, love-wise, we're very connected. And so we all know each other. And so that's what's kind of kept us strong. You know, I'm really looking forward to seeing how this plays out to the better of our community, because this is just making us stronger as a whole. And so I'm really excited. Now, some things that we are doing a little bit different. We're going to look into testing our employees. We're going to do that. We're going to see how this works, and then possibly look into how we can use some money to test some of our residents. I know Coolidge is going to steal that idea from me now. But it's okay. It's a thing that we can just all pass off to each other. Being the vice mayor, I'm running for election for mayor, and it's kept us all connected. And so I think that's one thing that's kept us strong and kept us going is unfortunately a pandemic had to bring us all together. So I think that we'll learn from this and move forward. So, and like I said, congratulations, Coolidge and Nicola and everybody else involved, man. We're really happy for you guys.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Mayor McFarland, talk to us about this leadership in this crazy time and anything positive that's come out of it.
Well, first of all, yeah, congratulations to Coolidge and to Nicola for that announcement. That's amazing. We've actually, Casa Grande is a unique community because we are truly, I believe, a community, and we don't share boundaries with anybody per se, and so we're kind of just kind of down here by ourselves. And the one thing that I've seen is that we have come back with a stronger sense of community through this whole exercise. And for me personally, I've only had to buy 2 tanks of gas in the last 90 days, and that's like amazing. And on top of that, I think I bought my truck holds like 35 gallons of gas, and I think I paid $29 for an entire tank of gas one day. So that's been kind of exciting. And so less miles on my truck, less travel time. So these Zoom meetings are convenient. I can get up, take a shower, and be on a meeting by 8 o'clock, and it's easy. I don't have to leave an hour before I need to be somewhere. So that's been the most positive for me. We've also rolled out our Buy Local program. It's a program where we kind of, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's a t-shirt that says love Casa Grande, love it. It's a program that we're rolling out. It's also a program that we used to roll out our Come Back Smart Casa Grande, and the logo is our new marketing logo that we're going to be rolling out with. So it's been a great opportunity to come out and showcase that. We just got awarded too, and this just was announced. I don't know if everybody's aware of it or not, but our neon sign park was one of maybe 10 recipients of the Heritage Award, the Governor's Heritage Award Preservation Honor, and Casa Grande actually was awarded the #1 Heritage Award. So we were actually the Governor's Preservation Award for this year, for 2020. So we're pretty proud of that, and especially during this time, it's nice to have some positive news, and so we're looking forward to receiving that award. So that's pretty exciting.
Congratulations. Congratulations for that.
Thank you, Richard, for that also.
It's awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor McFarland. Mayor Serdy from Apache Junction. Talk to us if there's anything good come out of COVID, anything optimistic, and then we'll go to Mayor Besich and Vice Mayor Wheatley.
No, I was really not happy with COVID. I wish it would have never happened, obviously. I feel bad for our high school, the seniors missed their senior year. They missed so much stuff they could have been doing. If there's any good came out of it, individually, people are not going to let this happen again, kind of like Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind. I vow to never be unprepared again. So people are going to be prepared from here on out. And I think all the cities will be prepared too for things like this. So we have steeled up, but not a whole lot of good. And we have a lot of things that have been postponed. We're going to have so many meetings in October and November. If you think on your calendars, okay, we'll just do these later. We're going to be having meetings every night come October, November. And of course, the big thing in Apache Junction, we're waiting for the 6,000 acres to be auctioned off by the state and annexed in. and that's all been postponed as well. So we're looking forward to that happening.
When is that postponed till?
I was going to ask you that, Jordan. I know you're up on Street Land Department. I think it's been pushed back now till August.
Got it. All right. Thanks, Mayor. Mayor Besich, hard time to be a mayor, but what do you find optimistic?
You know, a bit of COVID was really tough right at first, but our community always seems to come together. And I think what I like the most is this week when we were really hit by it, you saw everybody coming together and taking much more responsible actions on how to prevent the spread and people caring for each other. And I think that's really, really important. But most comforting was we were able to keep business as usual for the most part. All of our projects are still on task. We sold an industrial park lot. We have, new businesses coming into Superior that, they're waiting till some of the restrictions are a little less. So that was comforting that we're still business as usual. And much like Mayor McFarland, we've launched our new brand, and our tagline is Adventure Elevated, but we've used Safety Elevated, Community Elevated, Living Elevated to, kind of start telling the message of what it means to live in Superior and create personal responsibility while also managing some caring. So, I'm really proud of our residents and our business community. I think they've all been good team players so we can get through this. And I hope we can, limit the spread for us, because it will be devastating for such a small population.
Thank you, Mayor. Vice Mayor Wheatley, anything optimistic to come out of this that we learned?
And I love this question because surrounding COVID, there's so much negativity and we all wish it would just go away. But, you do have to look at the silver linings that come with these things. And, for me, it's been amazing to see the community come together, whether it's programs that the town has put together or just seeing residents themselves fill those needs. And that's been incredibly positive and uplifting. But one thing for Queen Creek, if we didn't recognize already, we're in an extremely high growth area and in community. And that was evidenced. We've had over 150 new home permits, even during this pandemic. So that's been amazing to me. And from March 1st to June 1st, we've had more than 500 building, engineering, and planning applications over last year. So even during a pandemic, to have the amazing growth that we've been experiencing. And really, it's been eye-opening to see our staff and how efficient and effective they've been able to be with technology and what we've been able to provide online, and even our rec programs online to our residents, and just maintaining that quality, efficient government that we pride ourselves on. So, so it's been amazing, even during a pandemic, that we can see these silver linings.
Awesome. Thank you, Vice Mayor. Okay, I want to talk a little bit, move away from pandemic. Let's talk about most exciting project that you are working on in the city right now. So maybe we'll start with Mayor Walter, and then we'll go to Mayor Besich. I'm just trying to mix it up. This is no particular order. Let's see what we got. Most exciting.
Okay, so the town of Florence actually has several exciting things that we're working on right now. Just this past week, the council awarded a letter of intent for workforce housing project in Territory Square downtown. The builder is Modus. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them, but they're award-winning, environmentally friendly homes. They're gorgeous, high quality, and really we need that building downtown. So we're absolutely thrilled with that. Also, this past week, we brought on Grinders. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them, but Grinders Sports Group is developing a 350-acre project, and it's going to have fields, courts, lodging, retail stores, family entertainment. We've been working on this for quite some time now, and just to get all of the moving parts and plans together to push forward has been exciting.
It sounds incredibly exciting. That's very cool. Mayor Besich, exciting project that you're working on.
My favorite project we're working on right now is our multi-gen center, and then our partnership with Seed Spot for our entrepreneurial and innovation center. What I'm most glad about is that the Resolution Copper record of decision is still on track, so they can get through all their permitting this year, and we're excited to get those mitigations all buttoned down so they can get into construction hopefully in 2021. So happy it's all on track still.
That's amazing. That's fantastic. Mayor Price, why don't we go Mayor Price and then Mayor McFarland. Exciting project.
Thanks, Jordan. Here in the city of Maricopa, we're kicking butt and taking names here. We have all kinds of cool things going on. We have building going on like crazy, housing permits going like crazy, apartments going in. We have a 27,000 square foot library going up. We have commercial going up like crazy. The list just goes on and on. I'm just so excited to see so many of these things taking place. We've really managed the hell out of our money here, and something that's really pretty exciting. It may not be exciting to most people. I'm a financial advisor by trade, so it's exciting to me, and that is that we went to the bond rating agencies, and basically all of them looked at us and said, you do know that if you come to us right now, we're probably going to downgrade you. But the reality is we went up from A to AAA and blew everybody away. And so that allowed us to refinance $10 million in bonds for our Copper Sky project that's a few years old now, and saved our taxpayers almost $2 million. So, we're just doing all kinds of really cool things that are innovative, that are unique. We have some, we've got, like so many other cities here, we've got things in the works that we're very excited for. But boy, I hope we can get to September here through all this mess, because if all things stay on track, we have some really, really big announcements and some really cool things even still coming out of the ground. So very, very exciting times in Maricopa.
Fantastic. Well, we'll look forward to big announcements, and all that you're doing is big, so it's good. Mayor McFarland, and then we'll go to Mayor Serdy.
Thank you, Jordan. I got to call Christian out though. Casa Grande actually it has 318 new building permits, and I think Maricopa has 311. Just FYI.
The year isn't over yet.
I know. That's why I probably just jinxed myself. But we have some huge projects going on. Obviously, everybody knows that Lucid is happening, and it is on course to have their first production vehicles come off probably in January. They're actually going to have vehicles come off the line in August. So the first cars that will be produced will be in August, but there won't be production vehicles. So we're looking forward to, by the end of the year, probably 700 new employees out at the Lucid plant. If you haven't seen it, it's an amazing facility. They're actually starting to break ground on additional stamp plant that they're going to have out there, which at the build out should be about 2,000 employees by the time we're done. And the other big project too is Nacero, which is a natural gas to gasoline manufacturing facility that will have about 2,000 construction jobs for about 3 years. So we're looking forward to that actually starting up in the spring of 2021, and they're moving forward with that project. It's on about 1,000 acres. That's just south of the Union Pacific Railroad and south of the Frito-Lay plant. So lots of big things happening. We have tons of other stuff going on as well. So we're looking forward to getting through this pandemic and getting back to where we were back in February of this year.
Well, thank you, Mayor, for your leadership, and congratulations on Lucid. It's really exciting. Mayor Serdy, favorite project that's going on, and then we'll go to Mayor Thompson.
Yeah, we've had lots of building and buying going on too, even during the shutdown. That hasn't stopped. We were at one time doctor poor, but we have 2 new doctor's offices that have opened up, so we're very excited about that. I already tipped my hand on my last comment about what we're looking forward to also is the sale of that state land, and we can finally get going with that. We've always been hampered by being completely surrounded by state land with no room to grow, and staff is ready to get on that. And we're so close to the airport up here, right across the border within just a couple miles. we're looking forward to not only having new homes, but also some light industry and some jobs right across Meridian in the new 6,000 acres.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Thompson?
Well, I think when it comes down to the most exciting project is certainly going to be Nicola. As we all know, now that July 23rd is going to be the groundbreaking. They went public last week or so, and they had a real strong response on there from investors, and it looks like it's going to go very well. So that's our major project. Like everybody else, we certainly got a lot of builders in town, a lot more coming, and as you well know, Jordan, we've got a couple of projects that we can't talk about. So we're just going to hold on and continue to work and doing what we're doing. So. But
well, hopefully we'll be able to talk about them soon. So you guys are doing such a good job on everything there. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor Wheatley, exciting project in Queen Creek.
Always exciting in Queen Creek. So Queen Creek, we announced and broke ground for our first hotel, which is really exciting. And I was so glad to see that the construction didn't cease during all of this, and that will be open the end of the year. We're a very young community, so family entertainment is huge for us, and we've been just clamoring for the day that happens. And we have, I don't know if you're familiar with Fat Cats, we also have Dave and Buster's coming, the Queen Creek Botanical.
I think she froze.
Okay, I thought it was me, so I didn't want to interrupt her, but I will say that Dave and Buster's is where my kids spend most of their time when they were allowed to go out of the house, right? Vice Mayor Powell, can you talk to us about exciting project in Eloy?
Yes, well, the interest has not stopped. Actually, we've been busier now more than ever here at the city of Eloy. Our permitting has not gone down. It's actually, stayed the same, if not increased. We've had a lot of interest with our downtown infill buildings, a lot of interest with that. We've had a lot of residential housing. I know somebody who's getting ready to spend about, just to start off a couple $1 million just on some infill lots here in the Eloy area, which is pretty good. It's very good. But we're also, some of the things that we've done here in Eloy is we're under construction with our new police department. It went from, I think, 7,000 square feet to almost 17,000 square feet. So that's a huge addition to our downtown renovating plan that we have. Our Main Street, our facade improvement plan that we're doing for our buildings downtown. We just awarded the contract, and now we're moving forward on that. Like I said, we're staying busy. A lot of interest with our freeway interchanges. We have a new truck stop that's getting ready to open up very soon on Talltech and I-10, so that'll generate some revenue. Also, we're working with Kevin Peterson on the 10-8 Business Park. That's on the Sunland Gin Road exit. That's 600 acres. So that's going to be huge coming forward. And that works perfect with aligning all the projects that's going on within our area. So that's in the works right now too. So we have a lot of good things going on for us right now, and we're really excited. We don't want this to stop. We're going to continue being aggressive with everything. And like I said earlier, with the projects going on in Casa Grande and in Coolidge, we're right in the middle of the ministry, and we're going to really prosper from all this. So I'm really excited for all that.
Thank you. All right, we just have a few minutes left here. So I just want to go around the horn with the mayors. You have one sentence, okay? One sentence, and the one sentence is how you're looking forward, how you're staying optimistic. How can Pinal County position themselves to be the best possible place for growth into the future? All right, so here we go, around the horn. Mayor McFarland.
One sentence. I just continue to do what we're doing. Our economic development people are doing an amazing job, and I think that if we stay optimistic and we put ourselves out there, we have the land, we have the people, we have the proximity, we've got the infrastructure, and I think things will be good.
Thank you, Mayor. Thanks for your leadership. Mayor Serdy.
Mayor McFarland, that was a paragraph, not a sentence. One sentence would be, we're stronger than before.
Thank you. Very good. Well done. Vice Mayor Powell.
Vote for Micah for mayor.
Perfect.
Eloy strong. You know, we're gonna get through this also.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Mayor Walter.
So you challenged me to one sentence, and many of you know that I am not a woman of few words, but I was able to accomplish it. So we have the land, we have the infrastructure and the plans, and we're going to continue collaborating and putting our plans to action.
Fantastic. And she's an educator, so we know it wasn't a run-on. All right, Mayor Besich.
We are the ideal destination for physically distant vacations.
Oh, excellent, and indeed you are. Mayor Thompson.
Continue our efforts to regionally work on economic development with Pinal County and our neighboring cities.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Wheatley.
I apologize, I had some technical difficulties, so I missed your question.
Oh, one sentence, how you can position Pinal County to position themselves for the best possible growth scenario into the future.
I think
one sentence.
Oh, one sentence. For Pinal County, seeking the needed transportation infrastructure for the expansion of State Route 24 is the biggest for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Price, let's close it down with you. You're a great orator. Let's hear it.
All right, I'm going to rebel, Jordan. I'm not giving you one sentence, but it will be short. You know, the city of Maricopa is probably the only city in the state, if not the country, that is reducing its primary and secondary property tax in the middle of all of this. And I think that when you look at that, along with all these great cities here today, that Pinal County is positioned for amazing economic development and incredible growth into the next decade. And this is where you want to be.
Amen. Amen. We should have videotaped that and put it out there constantly. All right. Well, I cannot thank, and I know everyone, and on behalf of the Pinal Partnership Board, these 8 mayors and the other mayors and the leaders in our community, but you guys are amazing, and going through this is a time where leadership shines, and you all have, and it's pretty phenomenal. We're really blessed to have you leading our great county. I think, Melissa, why don't we have you put on the governor's talk, and if you can stay to listen, it's only 2 minutes. Please do. It's also in the chat, so you can link to it yourself. But thank you, mayors. We just can't thank you enough. Melissa, take it away.
Hello, this is Arizona Governor Doug Ducey. Arizona is proud to be one of the fastest growing states in the entire nation, with hundreds of new residents flocking here each day, along with many of the world's most transformative companies. Pinal County, located in central Arizona, offers wide open opportunities for domestic and international businesses. And like our state as a whole, Pinal County has a rich history and strong tradition of embracing newcomers. With a focus on innovation and transportation technology, Pinal County has attracted some of the most forward-thinking enterprises in the country, including Nikola Motor Company, Atessa Motorsports, Hexcel Corporation, Greenport Villages, Abbott Labs, Ascent Aerospace, and Lucid Motors. In addition, Pinal County has become a destination for medium and large-scale companies from a wide variety of sectors in the global economy, including aerospace and defense, distribution, health services, manufacturing, natural and renewable resources, and transportation and logistics. What else will you find in Pinal County? A well-developed transportation system that includes easy access to 3 international airports, Union Pacific rail services, and interstate freeways that allow for quick, easy transportation to markets in California, Texas, and Arizona's #1 trading partner, Mexico. Known for its wide open spaces and an abundance of natural beauty, Pinal County also provides a truly exceptional quality of life. I encourage you to learn more about Pinal County, Arizona today. We hope to welcome you home. Boundless opportunity awaits you. Thank you. Hello, this is Arizona Governor.
Did it work that time?
It worked better. They worked better.
Good.
Yeah, worked better. A little bit of sticking, but
When you see it, when it in its formality, it really is a great piece, and I think each and every one of you could use it in some of your presentations and so forth, Ron, because he does a good job of hitting the highlights. Thank you all again for being here. It's really a pleasure to have each and every one of you. And I think, again, the thing that it shows is how well each and every one of you work with each other and the give and take back and forth, even though Micah doesn't realize the fines that he gets for soliciting votes at a time like this. We'll catch up with him later. But the whole thing of how the change and attitude between the communities of being able to come together and work together has really been fun to watch. And I know a lot of you made changes in your schedule to be able to do this morning with us, and we really do thank you for doing that. So on to the next meeting. I know all of you have another one of these coming up, so I'll just have several of them coming up for the rest of the day, but thanks again for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.